This year I lived in 3 different places, traveled to Japan, Taiwan, France, and Lithuania, started school on a new campus, painted my room, got my first tattoo, fell in love, and cried a lot. Like, a lot. I don't know why I cried so much this year. So before 2024 starts, let's wave goodbye to 2023 and prepare for the new year. What do you say? So the first thing I do is I try to take in everything that happened in the last year. I don't actually do this on a paper notebook. I do it on my computer in a journaling app called Day One, but the paper notebook just looks nicer for B-roll, right? So we're gonna keep that. The year always passes by so quickly, so initially when you look back on it, you might feel like maximum 2 interesting things happened in the past year. So that's why you need to look at all the evidence. You gotta look through your journal, your photos, your calendar, to actually remember everything that happened. 12 months is a lot. A lot happened in your life, I'm guessing. So there are a few categories of information that I like to write about. The first question I ask is, who were the people that mattered the most to me this year? Recently, I was doing a little surfing on Reddit, as one does when they have life questions, and I stumbled upon this beautiful quote, and I would credit the person who wrote it, but their account is deleted now. It says, "There is no one to impress, no one to beat, no one to intimidate or be intimidated by. There's no judge or jury or audience. There's no competition, no performance. There are only people to love." So before I look at what did I accomplish this year, how did I get ahead, how did I grind set mindset, the first question is simply, who did I love? So I write about those people. Second question is, what were the plot twists from this year that I could not have expected on the eve of December 31st, 2022? So now that the year is over, everything that happened pretty much makes sense because you got all the spoilers. You know what happens. But if you were to go back 1 year, I'm sure that a lot would surprise you. What new people did you meet this year? What class did you take that you never would have considered a year ago? What goal was super important to you then that isn't at all anymore? Changing career, starting a hobby, going on a spontaneous trip, etc. For the next part, I'm looking more closely through my journal since it would be pretty crazy for me to closely read every single daily journal entry that I have. What I do is I mostly look through my weekly and my monthly reviews because those have like all of the information that I need. If you want to learn more about how I use Day One to do my journaling digitally, I have a whole video on that. So with all of that information from my journal, first I like to make a list of happy memories from the year. So this is not like goals that I achieved, things that I accomplished. This is just purely happy little moments. I do make a list of accomplishments. So really take some time with this. Give yourself many pats on the back because even if you did not accomplish everything that you wanted to last year, even if you did not accomplish most of the things, I'm sure that if you dig deeply, you will find so many little things to be proud of yourself for. And then finally, I look at each of the areas of my life. This list you might have seen in some of my other videos. This is a list I wrote for myself. Yours might have different categories, but I go through each of these categories and I write about how it went last year, what went well in that category, what did not go so well, what might I want to do differently in the next year. And that is your 2023 review. Now we move on to preparing for the new year. How exciting. So first we look at our goals for January. I am not a big fan of setting goals for the entire calendar year. Maybe if you're very clear on where you're heading in life and you have some really big goals that you want to work on, maybe that works for you. But at my stage of life, I am in my 3rd year of university. Things have never been so uncertain. I'm looking for internships. I don't know where I'm gonna be this summer. I don't know what my career goals are really. Life is changing so much and I just want to be flexible, and so there's not really anything that I want to commit to for a full year. I do love the idea of setting a goal for January because I don't know about you, but when it's winter break, I go fully into relaxing mode. Like, it's my birthday, it's Christmas, I'm with my family, I'm with my friends back home. So when I come back and have to switch back to normal life, I need something to kick me back into gear and give me some momentum, a little push. So for me, you might have seen that I am currently applying to summer internships. I will actually have a newsletter next Monday where I talk about how I've been approaching that whole big, fun, and totally not overwhelming process. If you want to subscribe to my bi-weekly newsletter and read about how things are going in my life. But in January, I will really be in the thick of this process, and I'll hopefully be interviewing and doing stuff like that. And so I think I want to start my 2024 with some career goals. So I have a list of internships that I need to apply to in January because they all have different due dates. I am interested in digital marketing, public relations, stuff like that, but also project management. I am someone who really enjoys organization. I like getting organized. I like being the group project leader who figures out how everything is going to get done, but I'm not very well versed in actual project management technique. That sounds like a knowledge gap. Thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring this video and helping me spruce up my career skill set. So this month I am taking a course called Intro to Project Management, and for January I'm going to do another one called Do Things, Tell People, and that one is about personal branding. I've worked with Skillshare before. It's an online learning community with thousands of classes taught by industry professionals. With classes, group project meetings, the externship I'm doing right now, internship applications, YouTube, it is hard to fit in anything else on top of that. My time blocking calendar skills are really being tested. So I love that I can take these Skillshare classes whenever I want, wherever I want. I've actually been playing them on my TV in the living room because it's cozier that way. So if you're also trying to get some career skills, you can follow one of their learning paths like Build Your UX Design Portfolio with Figma or Digital Marketing for Companies. They're like groups of different classes around the same theme. I also just want to add that my YouTube channel and my newsletter and all these activities have been such a boost to my resume. So if you've been thinking about starting a project like this, please, 2024 is the year that you shall do it. On Skillshare, there's a course from Marcus Brownlee about YouTube. There's Marley Grace's course about how she built a Substack newsletter with 25,000 subscribers. There's Lily Singh's video about storytelling on YouTube. The first 500 people to use my link will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. And let me know what classes you take. The next thing I did was I made a vision board. So I don't have any like magazines or anything like that, so I just made mine digitally, the good old-fashioned way on Pinterest. I feel like my vision for the future has changed. I always saw myself as a city person, but living in Madrid has definitely been a little overwhelming. So now I feel like I would see myself in a smaller, greener place long term. So it was just nice to like revisit that image in my head of my future life. And there's absolutely no commitment to making a vision board. It is purely for fun. You can also make a bucket list, either a big life bucket list or a smaller one just for the upcoming year. If you already have a bucket list, then what you can do is you can go through it, update it, check off any things that you already did, and see which of the things on your bucket list you could feasibly do in the next year. Okay, let's talk about organization, because you do not want to go into the new year with your life and your space feeling like a mess. Of course, it's also a very busy season with the holidays and with the school semester ending, so you might not have time to like completely overhaul your life right now, but just a few things to tidy things up a bit. First, definitely look at your calendar for 2024. So first of all, your academic calendar. We don't have our second semester schedule yet, but as soon as we do, I'm gonna go through it and mark any days off that we have, any long weekends. Then you're also gonna wanna make note of any big events coming up, like birthdays, holidays, when does summer break start? When does the next school year start? Also try to get an idea of what you're going to be doing each month. So for example, if you want to do an internship like me, what months are you going to have to be applying? When should I be looking for an apartment for next year? If you're going on a trip in August, when should you start planning that? It always makes me so nervous when people tell me that they have like 30,000 photos on their phone and it's not backed up anywhere. That is a dangerous game. I personally have suffered from poor file management. I've lost footage and stuff. So please back things up. One external hard drive is not enough. You need to have at least 2 copies, and ideally one is in the cloud somewhere. I personally have external hard drives for my YouTube footage and then Google Photos for all of my personal photos and videos. Decluttering. I will not talk much about this because I think Marie Kondo and others have done a fantastic job giving advice on this. But if you don't have time for a full declutter, again, it's a very busy season. Also, I think spring is like the official decluttering, spring cleaning time. Just do little things like Look through old papers that you have on your desk and see what you can throw out or file away. Look through your fridge for old food that you can throw out. Maybe go through your closet and see what clothes you're not wearing that you can go donate. Any little thing that you can do to just feel a little lighter going into the new year. Speaking of lighter, I've been wanting to get my hair done for so long now, so I want to get it cut physically lighter and also dyed. So chromatically lighter. I don't know. The last time that I dyed my hair was last summer, so that was a year and a half ago, and every time I see photos of it, I look back at it so longingly, like, wow, remember what my hair used to look like? But getting hair done is just so expensive, so I have not dyed it since, and I'm pretty sure most of the colored part has grown out. But I was like, you know what? It's the end of the year, it's my birthday, new year, new age, new me. Let's do it. And voila, that is the final result. I am as excited as you to see the final result because obviously I have not gone to the appointment yet, so I don't know what will happen. But yeah, other ways to get that like new year, new me feeling. It doesn't have to be like a complete lifestyle overhaul or changing your personality or anything, but just something that makes you feel slightly different, like to mark the passing of time. So maybe you want to rearrange your living space in some way. You don't have to spend any money on it. You can just move around your furniture or change how you've put up the decorations. You can try wearing something different or doing your makeup in a different way. Be creative. So I hope you liked this video. Thank you for watching my videos in 2023. I hope you have an amazing holiday season and an amazing new year coming up for you. Lots of love. Bye!